A-MUSE, and welcome to A-MUSE Academy, where we school you about the things that bring us together.
Yeah. It's Pengy's turn.
It is my turn. This is my time, baby.
And is it also the last episode?
It is.
Of our little season.
Yeah, so this will be the last episode of A-MUSE Academy for 2022. And we will be back maybe another time, but for now, this is the last one.
How unfortunate.
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
When did we start this? Like last year?
Yeah.
Was it like November or something?
Crazy
It was pretty...
how time's gone.
I think it was October because it was, I remember right after Revolt Revive we were all talking about.
The next big project.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was the big next project? What, the next big project?
I think it was this. And then now we've got the EP coming out. So we're just like, project,
Grinding.
next one, next bus,
Another
club, another club, next place.
I mean, who knows? It could make a comeback like at the end of the year. It could make a comeback next year. It could make a comeback never.
Are you foreshadowing?
I'm just saying words. You know, I don't want to put expectations in people's mouth of like,
I think there's a foreshadowing there somewhere.
Oh dear.
all I'm saying is we're always doing things.
Get your theories in.
Yeah, we certainly are bitches who are always doing things. But today, for our last episode, I will be taking the floor as the designated astrology bitch. Though to be honest with you, I would consider myself to be a novice in this area. I'm very interested in it, but there's a lot to know. So it's really hard to be really educated about astrology, I think, because it can, once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, it can be quite complex. But we're going to be talking about our personalities and how they relate to our star signs, and we're also going to talk about some other stuff about A-MUSE's personalities.
So true.
We do have a couple of absentees today. We are missing Miss Kate and Miss Rinya because of COVID reasons. Unfortunately, we have all been exposed /
Except
sick,
Luvkii.
except Luvkii,
Yeah.
because her immune system is made of titanium or something.
All of the bleach in my head sinks in it. It purifies me of any disease ever. Touch wood.
It didn't help me.
No, it's true.
It's been an interesting few weeks. The day that we're recording this podcast is actually the day that we were supposed to hold our live, but obviously we just weren't able to do it because we have 2 members gone. But like everyone in A-MUSE except Luvkii got sick. I don't even mean just like the members, like the staff as well. They all got sick.
Yeah.
We didn't even all get like, how do I put it? We didn't spread it to each other.
It's all
Aside
different
from-
ways.
Separate
It's all
places,
yeah.
different.
So
Besides me and Lolly.
It's so crazy because from the start we always assumed that if one of us got COVID, all of us would get COVID and we would catch it from each other. But like Kate caught it from Jake. I caught it from Cam. Poor Cam went to a new job and picked up COVID on his first day of work and then brought it home to me.
And we had the K-poppy disease.
Yeah, we went to the
K-pop
K-pop club and walked away with COVID. Just fantastic.
Well, we have been very
Absolutely
good
fabulous.
at keeping separate from each other when we think that we have COVID. I feel like that's probably our biggest saving grace, is that we're as safe as we can be.
So
Yeah.
true,
The time is
Bestie.
right.
So true.
But I honestly thought I would be the first person to get sick
I'm
because I'm always
genuinely
out.
shocked.
I'm licking every doorknob in this city. Like there is no space that doesn't have my DNA somewhere. So I'm kind of like, what has happened?
I cannot believe that you all walked away from Supernova with no one getting COVID. Like
Yeah.
Which
That's
is crazy for
crazy.
me.
Like, what was it? Because I didn't go to Supernova, right? What was it like with masks? Were people wearing them very often, or like?
Not really, but to be honest, it wasn't like a really busy con either. Like it's been busier, but it also wasn't the quietest that it's ever been. But like because of the absolute like size and how much space you have to spread out, if you want to like be alone in a certain like secluded area, you can be. I honestly, fucking miracle. I don't know anyone who got sick from the convention, and I was expecting at least someone to get it that I know of, but I haven't seen anyone. I'm surprised that you got it at your little K-pop function.
I was going to say, I can't believe K-poppies are worse than weebies. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But it was fun. Worth it, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone here today is like, well,
Ish.
yeah.
Yeah.
And our 2 members staying home today are just being extra cautious. So it's just us 4 today.
We'll see them next time.
Next time, which
time.
is for this podcast. Never.
No, I I think that we'll revisit something like this again in the future, but it's probably
We
not
gotta
going to...
finish our D&D campaign.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'd like to do it with all the boys as well and like just like do a
Yeah.
Big one.
big day.
Super fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, what about, how do you guys believe in astrology? How superstitious is A-MUSE?
I believe in personality types and like I believe in like horoscopes and stuff, but like not to like a very like excessive sense that like it is controlling your whole entire life. This is like the end all be all kind of thing. I think horoscopes are fun. I think star signs are fun. Who am I to say that this stuff doesn't exist?
So true.
So
Yeah.
true, bestie.
I think I'm pretty much the same. I think they're really fun. I really love when I was a kid, my mum used to buy me like the girly teen mags and I'd be flipping through finding my like Capricorn horoscope. Like, that's so me. Yes, I am really busy because I'm in high school. Yeah. Oh my God, my stars, they're red, you know, like love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about you?
I just think they're fun. It's a kind of thing where like for both astrology and personality like types and stuff, they're obviously written to be like quite general to a lot of people, so it will never be like 100% perfect, but I think having these things is like you don't have to use them to dictate your life, but having them as like a general guide, just to, you know, think about how you, I guess, treat different situations or go about your life can be nice and a bit of fun.
Except I don't vibe with my Leo sign at all.
No.
A lot of the time.
I'm going to get into that with you. I'm going to get into that with you.
I'm keen.
Myself, I like sort of believe in astrology. I love it. I think it's a lot of fun, and that's why I'm interested in it, because I just think it's so much fun going through and like, I guess reading a external, like, and it's the same with MBTI. I love reading like an external take on what your personality might be like. And I also love, I'm friends with both Rinya and Kate and Lolly actually on the CoStar app, and I look at it nearly every day.
We need to be friends.
And we need to be friends. We do. And it comes from my ass every day. So
I don't actively check it, but because it like that CoStar app, it sends out a notification every day, maybe around like 11 a.m. or so, and it's like, I don't know if you call it a fortune, but like just drops a little nugget of wisdom your day, like every other day, and whenever I see it, I'm like, oh,
So true.
yeah.
Watch out for birds or some shit.
Yeah, so true. Or like think about your relationships today, and I'm like, yeah.
I think I will.
But I mean, like, people love being told about themselves, right? So I think things like astrology and like personality types are like a fun little thing for people in that way.
I'm a bit sad that Brynya's not here today, actually, because Brynya is absolutely obsessed with like personality quizzes and like assignment quizzes. She is always sending us like, which anime character are you?
You'll be, like,
BuzzFeed quizzes.
You'll be like mid-breakdown in chat, and then she'll be like, hey, here, do a personality
this quiz.
Even like when we would be like workshopping choreo together, we'd sit down for a 5-minute break, and in that break time she'd be doing BuzzFeed quizzes, and she'd be like, oh, what would you pick? And I'm like, I don't know.
I love it when she makes quizzes for us as well.
Yeah.
I love her little like, which A-MUSE member are you ones? They're just fun. They're just fun.
She is a quiz girl.
Well, today I would kind of like to go through some little basics about birth charts. I think everybody knows about their sun sign. Like everybody usually sort of knows what their sun sign is, and then your sort of big three are your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. So we're going to go through everyone's bits and pieces of those today. But you know that each planet actually, like every planet has a place in your chart, and they all mean different things. So to summarize it very briefly, you've got your sun sign, ego, identity. It's like your main sign. Though you sort of tend to see, depending on how people are, people relate more to their moon sign, which is relating to your emotions, your moods, your feelings, and it can be kind of like your inner person, like your person who you are in private, or the person that people know you as who are very close to you. And your rising sign is like your outside personality. So your social personality that you show to people that you've just met, it's like your first impression personality. It might be really different to your sun sign. It might tie in with your sun sign. It varies from person to person. The ones that people know less are Mercury. Mercury is to do with communication. Venus is obviously the planet of love. Mars is aggression. Jupiter, along with Saturn, is a social planet, dictates idealism and optimism. Saturn is also a social planet, dictates sort of responsibilities and boundaries. And the last three actually are planets that stay in a sign for a really long time, so they tend to represent a generation more than they represent an individual person. So you have Uranus, which is innovation and progress, which stays in a sign for 7 years. Neptune.
Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I even
She's
had
fine.
a thought where I was like, no one made a joke about that.
Sorry.
You're good, bestie.
Go on.
There's only two left. Neptune, dreams and imagination, stays in one sign for 14 years, which is a very long time. And Pluto, which is technically no longer part of our solar system, but that's okay. We still love Pluto. Pluto is about power and control and stays in one sign for up to 30 years.
Crazy.
Yeah. Fun facts is that only in the last couple of years did Pluto make a full orbit around the sun since we discovered it.
I didn't even know it did that.
It's very far away and it actually doesn't qualify as a planet anymore.
Yeah, I remember in
So-
school they were like, Pluto is not a planet anymore, but I just forgot how space works.
You could.
Who are people to say that Pluto is not a planet?
It can be
I still think Pluto is valid. I was kind of sad
Yeah,
when they
me
were like,
too.
Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Pluto's-
Is
I'm
it
like,
that it's not a planet or it's just not a part of the solar system?
I think I can't remember why it was taken off the chart, but I think it's
It's because it's so small.
it's really small.
It's like a dwarf.
Yeah,
and
it's
because
really,
it's so
yeah.
small, its gravitational pull around the Earth is different from all of the other planets. Instead of going around like this, it goes like
Yeah.
this.
It's pretty crazy is Pluto. But
Is this small?
honestly, actually, my kind of interest in this area actually more comes from being interested in space, being interested in stars, being interested in constellations than it is in being interested about spooky stuff. I guess I really like to do tarot cards as well, and I think that tarot is a good if you're feeling a bit lost and you need a little bit of guidance, I think that tarot cards are really, really fantastic for that. But honestly, I just love space.
Yeah.
I love to know where the planets were when I was born, actually. So, and also, other than the planets, you also have the house systems, which can be interpreted in 3 different ways. And you also have various transits and other bits and pieces in which the planets interact with each other and different signs that can tell you different things. And those are usually actually where daily horoscopes come from because they change all the time. So
I don't
there
know
you go.
why, in theory, I've seen this information before, but hearing you say it out loud, I'm like, this shit does not make any sense to me.
it's so difficult. That's why
It's
I'm
cool,
like,
though.
I don't claim to be an expert in this because there is so much to know. And I did a bit extra research for this podcast episode, and I was just like, man, there's no way that I'm going to be able to accurately explain all of this. I may have even said wrong information today, so
Call her out.
we are
call,
not-
call me out. Call me out
are
if
not
I'm wrong.
astrology professionals, so take all this with a grain of salt.
We're just wet idols.
We're just little guys.
I'm just a little guy who likes stars and planets.
I recently went to the planetarium with some friends from out of town, and we watched the one where you sit back on the chair and they project the stars.
So fun.
Literally 5 days ago, so I feel like I'm drawing on my vague planetarium
Give
knowledge.
us your knowledge, Luvkii.
That there were lots of kids in the thing,
Yeah.
all babies crying and screaming and throwing up on each other and stuff.
We need to go to the planetarium.
It's really
I
fun.
want
like
to
to
go.
go.
I would like to go. I would like to go to the
Amy's
planetarium. with
Amy's
Amy's.
trip.
Yeah.
Amy's trip to the planetarium.
Please, let's go.
Anyway.
We are space idols,
We
So
are
true,
space
so true.
idols. Well,
after all. So, who wants to hear my take on their personality versus their star sign? Who wants to go?
Me.
Alex, put a hand up first. So we're gonna do
Fuck, it
Alex
was a
first.
competition. Do it again.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the two girls who aren't here as well so that they don't miss out.
Yes.
Ooh.
Kate asked me to roast her. I don't know if I can roast her, but I will certainly say some things.
Yes.
I'm low-key nervous now.
Lukey nervous.
I'm like, I like
Honestly,
attention, but I also hate attention.
you're funny because you're a Leo sun, right? And you are like the shyest Leo sun I've
I'm
ever
the
met
opposite
in my life.
of Leo.
Leos are normally like really vibrant, right? Like not vibrant's not the right word,
You're
but
dull,
like
Alex.
no, like lots of energy, really outgoing is the image I have
Yeah,
of Leo.
Leos
Very
are
opinionated
typically very outgoing and like can be quite loud and very expressive. Leos are expressive people, and I honestly think that you are in your own way. But something that is a Leo trait as well is that Leos take great pride in their appearance. Never gonna leave the house looking like shit, especially hair. Hair has always been a connotation of Leos, and I
Wow.
think that is true of you.
Fun fact, yeah, I always carry a hairbrush with me and I brush my hair like every single second while I'm out. So.
On the way here, you were saying to me like, "Oh, I can't wait until my hair grows more so I can start straightening it again." I was like,
I love my hair.
"Well,
See, you are a little bit.
A
You
little
do have a
bit.
little bit of your
A little
sun sign, and I honestly, you're a Pisces moon, which Pisces and like obviously this relates to your like emotions and your feelings and your inner person, and I think that you being a Pisces moon is like super true of you.
Wow.
I think you're a very like deeply emotional person, like
Yeah,
on the inside, and I think that sign in your moon really suits you, and. You are as well, which is also funny because this is another like typically more outgoing sign, but you're a Sagittarius rising.
Yeah.
So that's your outward personality, and I would definitely say that you have like the friendly, typical like friendly and approachable of Sagittarius, but you're not as loud, you're not as outgoing as that. And I think that maybe that has a little bit to do with your like little Pisces moon,
My
like
Pisces
emotional
moon's so
little
strong.
self. Yeah. Some people relate a lot more strongly to their moon signs than their sun signs. You know, actually, as well, that Kate is Sag rising as well.
Well,
Well,
we're friends.
crazy."
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Pingus.
Well,
You're welcome. Who's next?
You go, Lolly.
me?
Yeah. I want to
Lolly.
hear about Lolly.
Yeah, right. Go on.
All right. Lolly's super fun it's super fun to read Lolly's chart because Lolly's an Aquarius and Lolly is the most dead ass fucking typical Aquarius I've met in my life. Like, I have written some notes about this because I was like, this is a lot of information for me today. My brain's gonna die. But yeah, Lolly has no problem challenging the status quo. Lolly has no problem being different from those around her, and she's an agent of chaos. She is an agent of chaos. You are. Secretly, you are an agent of chaos, and you do like to push boundaries.
Yes.
So I think that that's like
she was Asian.
Asian of chaos.
Asian
Lolly
of
is
chaos.
an Asian.
So true.
She read the TikTok comments. Come on, guys.
I was just like,
This
for
is a
second,
Caucasian woman.
I was like, where are you going with this? Sorry.
Yeah, growing up, I always like never got the idea properly of what an Aquarius was growing up because I always felt like I read different things. But
I think Aquariuses can be quite misunderstood sometimes as well.
that checks out. But as an adult, I would consider myself to be quite a typical Aquarius. Yes.
Yes. You have honestly the Leos, the amount of Leo in like nearly everyone in A-MUSE's chart checks out.
Yeah.
Pardon me, the COVID cough so much, but Lolly is a Leo moon as well, and I think that for your inner self, you are, when you get to know Lolly, you are very expressive. I think that you're quite a proud person
Yes.
as well, and I think that really checks out with your Leo moon. And outwardly, your outward personality, like your sun sign Capricorn, I think it lines up as well and like balances you out quite nicely because the Capricorn is very rational, very responsible, and I think you definitely exude that like outward energy, like you exude put together.
Well, crazy.
It's maybe a little bit different when people get to know you, but I think when you first meet you, you're like, damn, this bitch, she's got her shit together.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, as a whole, I don't like religiously look at my signs. I was saying this to Pengi earlier. At least in my personal opinion, I feel like my signs and all my silly little personality tests and stuff all make sense for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
I see it. I really enjoyed like going through everyone's charts for this and being like,
Yeah, this makes sense.
yeah,
I've been so called out with my hair. Oh.
It's like when I was like 7, I'd go buy the like a Total Girl magazine at the Woolies checkout, and then I'd flip through to the horoscope section. I'd be like, wow, so true.
That's me.
This is about
I
me.
used to do the same thing, and I honestly, I don't know where they are, if my mom threw them out, but that I actually had still like a massive box of Total Girl magazines, like
Damn.
stacks.
Those were the days.
Stacks.
Simpler times.
They used to have
It
like
was-
plastic little toys that came with the front
Yeah,
of
and
them,
like
maybe
a little-
hair
a little
clips or a
lip gloss.
gloss.
I was a little bit more grown up. I did the Girlfriend magazine.
Oh, okay.
Just so you
you were not like
you were-
other girls.
Oh,
My-
I think we're grown
The
up.
Girlfriend magazines had like a sealed section.
Yeah, you had
about
to like
sex.
you had to peel it off because it was like NSFW. Like, oh, I'm on my period. What do I do? And
That was the best shit.
it was so good. I felt like so naughty. I had like I don't think my parents knew it was in there. So whenever I was reading like the sex section, I'd just be like in the car like
material girl.
try not to show my parents.
My parents would not really buy Dolly or Girlfriend for me. I think at that point, because at the point that I like wanted those magazines, my mom was like, not appropriate for you. You can continue to have Total Girl.
I mean, fair enough. There was a lot of like things in those
Yeah.
magazines.
Teen
I think-
magazines were so good though.
I think my mom was well aware, so she was like, nah.
Because I learned to read really early, I like would go around the house like finding mum's books and reading those, and I would always just be reading inappropriate stuff even if I didn't understand it because of that, because my brain was like, I need to read something. So my mum never really restricted the kind of content I read, but I just like was in my silly little lolly world, and I was like, no, I want to read Total Girl. It like tickled my brain more when I looked at the cover, so I was like, I will read that one.
I like it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Lucky last. So, Luvkii and the Cap Sun. The Capricorn
I
Sun.
don't think I'm very Capricorn.
I actually think you are at core. But like I actually honestly think that like you're in your personal life, you're actually very responsible and like quite practical. Like like in the way that you live your life and like how driven you are towards your goals. I think that is very Capricorn of you. But I think what a lot of people see from you is your rising, and you're a Leo rising.
Yeah.
So that's so
She's just a silly
just
little
like
guy.
me, just a silly little guy. Leo rising, me too.
We all be A-MUSE be Leos.
Yeah, Amy's do be Leos, honestly. And, like, obviously we've spoken about how outgoing Leos are and, like, hair.
Yeah.
It's hair. It's good hair. And I think that's where your silly side comes from. I think everybody on the outside of you, especially who meets you in community and stuff as well, sees your silly side.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree that in Lovekee's personal life, she's incredibly responsible. I would say like
She got a big girl full-time job.
she's got a financial advisor.
Sometimes you're adult on the outside and then you're just a silly little guy on the inside.
It's the other way around.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually think that your sun sign suits you quite a lot. You are just like Kate, you're a Libra moon as well, which I think is very reflected in like your like Libra moons are like people pleasers. People pleaser and like big on like your relationships are really important to you. Your friendships are really important to you, and you are always chasing your friends around and having fun, and like you aim to please.
Yeah,
those
I'd
people.
probably say that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's your like your emotional core is like your relationships. And I think that's quite true of Kate as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. I have got some things. I have some notes about Miss Rinya and Miss Kate as well, even though they're not here. I thought it would be unfair to leave them out.
No, of course.
They can't fight
Let's
back.
read him.
They can't fight back. It's like you can't defend
Roast them
yourself.
to hell.
So Kate is my darling baby little Pisces sun. She's like Kate, she's so sensitive and she leads with her emotions all the time. That's Kate to a T.
Yes.
She is my little Pisces baby. And much like Luvkii, the Libra moon, super big on like being a people pleaser. And I think that also Libra moons have a tendency to like really not want to trouble others with their troubles and like want to keep things to themselves all the time. And I think that's super true of Kate.
Yes.
So she's always like, she wants to protect everybody else's feelings by keeping it to herself, but she has to come tell everyone how she feels sometimes.
So true.
And outwardly as well, like Kate doesn't have resting bitch face. She has resting friend face.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
She's like a friend.
She's shaped like a friend. She's so approachable and like socially like super confident and friendly. And I think that's really true of her Sagittarius rising. Like honestly,
Yeah.
she's just so
I know
approachable.
sometimes when you question it, she goes, "Oh, I don't think so," but I think she is very approachable, extremely.
Yeah.
I weirdly
Yeah.
think that that's kind of a trend through all of us as well. I feel like at least
Lolly disagrees.
Us two. Have you seen the amount of people that talk to us two at a show?
I was gonna say like the amount of like weird crackies that come up to you, Panky, and are like, I must talk to you.
Honestly, yeah, it's
the
the
street.
people who don't see the resting bitch face that come up to me. And honestly, I don't mind it if people come up to me, but I think people are a bit scared of me sometimes.
I don't even. It's hard. Obviously, I don't know myself from like an outsider's perspective. It's not for me that I feel like I have resting bitch face. I just don't think I am a very approachable person on a surface level in general, because I'm not good at surface level talk.
She need the deep K-poppy Schumann talks.
I need someone.
we connecting.
I need someone to like. When people talk to me, I need like substance there, like something to build off. Otherwise, I'm just like, hi.
Tell me about something you are obsessed with.
Yeah, it's like either you're gonna talk to me about something I know, or talk about something that you love, or just like say something where I can give a response back.
Tell me about your day.
So true. And I also like, even outside of that, I just feel like I'm difficult to approach, but that's just me.
I feel like that a lot sometimes too. Yeah.
Sometimes being like difficult to approach is kind of like sexy and aloof in a way too.
Well,
It's
that's how I kind of
Yeah.
take it these days. I'm like, if I'm unapproachable, I will be the sexiest unapproachable
I am a
person.
bad bitch.
But
Exactly.
Yeah, my partner always says to me that he was like, he like thought I was really cool when he like first met me. He was like, "Oh my god, the goth girl in class with the multicolored hair and the tattoos." I was like, super cool, and I was like, "You've now learned that I am just in fact a little gremlin. Like there is nothing to be afraid of here."
Sorry to ruin the illusion.
well,
sorry to wreck the illusion that I am in fact cool.
recently I've been like, because I've been going back to uni on campus, I've been joining I joined like the Asian Pop Society, but like they mostly focus on K-pop, right? And I feel really like, oh, because there's a couple people that have come up to me and been like, oh, I've seen what you do from like A-MUSE or TikTok or whatever. And I feel like in those spaces I look a lot more like, yeah. But then in person I come to like the weekly dance lessons and I'm like, I don't know how to talk to anyone. I'm just going to sit here in the corner, and I feel like such a fucking loser. But
Haha, no friends, Lolly.
that's life, baby. I'm making friends, but very slowly.
I'm proud of you for giving it a red hot go.
Yeah, you did
I didn't
fucking
join
well.
any uni clubs while I was at uni. Like I was not.
I was just like, I think after being trapped inside for a couple of years because of COVID, I was like, well, this is my final year and I've been here for 10 gajillion years. So I should like make the most out of my last year and actually do uni things that are not going to class and going home. So it's been good.
Talking to strangers can also be really intimidating. Like,
Yeah.
But I've also found it liberating just to, because like a big thing for me, and I can't remember if I talked about this in the podcast before, is like, I think because I keep my circle of friends like really small, I don't have that many friends outside of A-MUSE, which sounds so sad when I put it like that. But it's like just good to go out and talk to people as much as I love A-MUSE, to talk to people free of work.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I joined a dance project with the club, and it's been really liberating because it's like, you know, I still get to do the fun stuff and like dancing stuff that I like, but I don't have to do any planning. I just have to show up and do it. And when I say, oh yeah, I do this thing called A-MUSE, aside from like 2 people in the room, no one has no fucking clue what it is, and that's kind of nice. So
it's that thing of like, no matter if we're hanging out and we're just going for dinner or something, no matter how hard we try, it always comes back to work.
We are
talk
so
about A-MUSE
chronically bad at like not talking about A-MUSE stuff when we're like hanging out together on a normal level.
It's so hard.
Like it's so hard, and I think because we spend so much time doing this as well, like we get A-MUSE goggles, like A-MUSE tunnel vision, and it's like everything is A-MUSE all the time.
And we get excited.
We do get excited,
we
and
like
a part of that is because we love what we do.
Yeah.
And we can't talk
So-
about our projects that are in secret to anyone else, so it's kind of like,
yeah. You've got to get it out somehow.
Yeah.
I
But,
also feel like I'm like fundamentally the opposite, where like I have no problem talking to strangers, and I will like I'm like
We
that
know.
bitch who becomes best friends with like some random people she met in a toilet.
Yeah,
Like,
actually,
you are
though.
my friend.
I'm
sort of
aware.
thing.
I was very thankful when we went to that silly little K-pop event that we got COVID from. That like, I mean, I don't drink responsibly, but obviously being at a club because people were drunk, people were a lot easier to talk to because they come up. I remember there was this one girl that came up to the both of
She
us.
was screaming. Like literally the first interaction was just her going,
Yeah, and for like it was quite funny because I think she did know who the both of us were, but like she was like, oh my god, you're that chick from TikTok, but she kept pulling like random people from the crowd and being like, they're famous.
do you know
They're
them?
famous.
Do you know them?
Do you know them? And then we'll tell her like, oh, come dance with us. She was like losing her mind. She was like, oh my god.
She was like, I'm so drunk right now.
It was
Oh
very
my
I actually
God.
have a bit of clout in a very niche small community.
It was really
So
funny.
fun.
We had a lot of people recognize us that night.
I was surprised by it.
crazy.
But it made it a lot like, because I was like shy going to that kind of event, it made it a lot easier to interact with people when people come up to me and be like, oh, hey, you're from this. And because people were drunk, they would say, because sometimes people come up to you and be like, oh my God, you're from A-MUSE or whatever.
And then the
And-
conversation stops there.
And you're like, what do I say? Whereas like, because people had something to drink, they'd be like, oh my God, you're from A-MUSE, you're from TikTok and this and this and this. And I'm like, I can work with this.
Yeah.
Just,
Thanks, drunk stranger.
yeah. So,
But also respectfully, girl, if you're watching this, thank you so much.
yeah, actually.
You were so lovely. We love you. Thank you.
I wish I was there. But I.
It's alright, you can come catch COVID with
can
us
get
next
COVID
time.
from-
Oh
your
yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah. Honestly,
Part 2
I
in
was.
July. Let's go.
Also, last but not least, on the 3 main signs is our beautiful Miss Rinya. Rinya is a funny one because she's a Virgo. She's a Virgo sun just like me, and I honestly, Rinya's Virgo is like very clear in some places and not in others. Rinya is so messy for a Virgo.
I love her.
She's very chaotic, but honestly, Rinya loves to plan things in advance, and she loves a good table. If we need something put in a table, give it to Rinya.
For a second, I thought you meant
Honestly,
like this kind of table,
no.
and I was like,
No, like a document with a spreadsheet and like
Excel.
a table, Excel. She loves it. She's there, and I think that is her most defining Virgo trait is her obsession with tables. And she also has a very good work ethic. She's a hard worker.
Yes.
And I think that's very true of her as well. And like, despite the tough front, I think Rinya's got a squishy core.
She's so
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
She's so squishy. She's so soft. She is a Cancer moon. She's very emotional deep down, and she cares super deeply about her friends. Relationships super important to her, and she's actually a Cancer rising as well, which is honestly like a surprising thing about me for Rinya because her outward personality is so chaotic. Like, she can come on quite strong in a social situation, but I think that she's, like, still, despite this, like, she's very sensitive to the needs of others, and she's quite empathetic, even though she might not let on. So, yeah, I do love that about her.
Yeah, you guys have like similar, like both being this like born in the same month. I feel like you guys have a lot of traits that you share as well in your
We
like
do.
in your Virgo-ness, but like on different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
in some
It's
ways.
really funny because, when we complement each other, we complement each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's good.
But when you clash,
When we clash, we clash.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Rinya and I butting heads is like a classic A-MUSE and Pulsar.
I've always found it quite funny because like most of the time Pulsar things are really smooth, and then like the one or two times like there might be like a butting heads point. It becomes me sitting in the middle being like, you're both the same.
Both the referee.
Yeah, I'm always like, guys.
You guys are saying the exact same things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
I love her though.
That's
I love
these
it.
are
I
all
love
very
them.
interesting breakdowns of things. Like I always thought that I was like, I'm not like a Capricorn in any way, but I guess like there are different ways like these things can present themselves.
Characteristics,
We
yeah.
have like business lives, and then we have friendship lives, and then we have like what's that like Freud thing where you have the two
faces.
personalities, and
It's
then
your- yeah.
one's the ego and one's the other one, and they're fighting to
You have,
know this
you
one?
have like, we did it in linguistics for some reason in my class, but you have like your front face, and then I forgot, I'm just going to call it back face, but
Yeah.
your front face, which is like, people pleaser, and then.
In linguistics, it's probably because depending on the language you're learning, it can be really present. For example, in Japanese,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the hone tatamae, like is
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
present.
Yeah.
So like that would be why. Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
See me,
Really,
You're a linguistics queen.
I'm
Yeah.
a linguist.
You're a linguist.
actually
am.
true. For myself, I'm a Virgo sun, and I'm a Capricorn moon and a Leo rising, and I honestly think that these are all super accurate for me. I mean, I think that I tend to be like the mum friend. Sometimes I'm a bit of a stick in the mud. I can be the person who's like the bearer of bad news, of being like, this is an awesome idea, guys, but it's not gonna work. Like
Yeah.
that's me.
And
Which is
then
a
we
bit
cry.
bummer sometimes. But I think like that plays into my my Cap moon a little bit as well. I think deep down I'm a pragmatic person, even though I like to be I like to try and be idealist. I'm deeply pragmatic, like at my core. But then I also have this like Leo rising, like Luvkii, where I think we're like both can be outwardly like quite outgoing, but in different ways. I'm not as like, I think I'm a little bit more serious in my outgoing, but I'm still very like expressive and loud, and like it's colored hair, bitches.
Yeah, I feel like
Like
in the opposite spectrums where you're like very like honest and very like you're very steadfast in what you believe and what you're gonna say, whereas I'm a little bit more like, oh, like want to, like I'll be like open and loud, but maybe like I'm not like exactly saying how I would like to come across. Maybe that's the core difference between the two of us.
yeah,
in that space.
I think that I am less of a people pleaser than you. I simply
You do not
don't
give a
give a
shit.
fuck. Like
Yeah, we are the two not giving a fuck members of the group.
It's an admirable trait to have, to be like really true to what you believe in.
Whereas
For
I
sure.
give too much of a fuck. I give way too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like, these overall, they're pretty, like, these are pretty basic breakdowns of the personality. And you can go so much deeper in a chart, but it takes ages. We'll be here all day.
We don't got
How much time do you have? Like, so in terms of everybody individually, following this, do you think it's true? Let's ask the class. Do you think it's true, what I've said? Do you find, and personally to you, what is your least accurate trait?
I definitely think, I think relatively that's all accurate for me, but I think, I definitely don't resonate with the significant parts of, like, what a Leo is, like, being, like, quite loud, like, I'm, like, even for, like, podcast recordings, I'm usually have to sit with my, like, lips touching the microphone because I'm very soft-spoken and, like, I'm quite more, like, reserved, I guess, but then I also get told, like, I'm a person that has, like, a lot of friends and I make friends easily with people and I converse well like that, so it's very, like, half and half, I guess, but I definitely don't resonate with, like, the very dramatic parts of being a Leo, and being, like very out there, very loud, very like passionate in like that way, and very like very the strong. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Well,
Yeah. I was going to say that, like, I feel like I can, when it comes to being a Capricorn, I feel like I can make really, like, driven, steadfast decisions in, like, my life when it comes to, like, things that are, like, survival. Like, I need to have a job to make me earn money to buy the things that I want, and I'm, like, very like that and, like, logical, but for, like, all other aspects of my life, I feel like I'm way more like chaotic, and I'm like, I will do it because it feels good and it's what I want. And it's
like honestly, living with you for like a month was really interesting because like seeing you work.
tell us about it. I'd like to hear about it. I never actually asked.
Luvkii work mode is really funny.
Go on.
Am I?
You're just like the complete opposite. Like you're very like girl boss business mode. Like
Wow.
you're very like hey, this is Luvkii from blah 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 blah. Like, how you going? And I was like, dude, you can talk on a phone like that.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Helen says that my work mode is very different from my.
Yeah, you're
my regular mode.
you're much more serious. But then you have like those moments when you have like your team's calls like with the co-workers that you mesh well with, and then you're like bantering around. And you're like, oh, blah 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 blah, like you're goofing off. But seeing you in like work mode, it's really interesting. It's very opposite Luvkii.
Yeah, and I think Alex probably learned how much of like a fucking neat freak I am around the house, and like what I'm like on my knees like scrubbing a spot on the bathroom.
Literally
like,
nice.
It's not clean.
Like every like on her breaks at home, she just have the vacuum out and just be like every single day. I'm like, must be nice.
Just like Alex is, I'm like your mum like wakes you up at 6 a.m. with the vacuum cleaner. Like
My mum does that.
This is like my first time learning this about you, but also like it must be nice. I want to be cleaner, but
It's just, it's really, I felt so bad though, because like I just had my little room and I'd have all my shit everywhere and I'd be like, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I know people do it differently from me, and like it's one of those things where like in my home life and my like personal like my space and where I need to live, eat, breathe, sleep, make money, and like survive, I'm very like, I need to do this. My mind is set on it. I have goals, and I'm like, I need to do this because I need to do this because I need to do this. But like in all other facets of my life, I'm just like, whatever fucking goes, bruh. Like way more chill.
well,
Yeah, accurate, but also like maybe a little inaccurate. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah. I definitely think you're more Capricorn than you think you are.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
What about you, Miss Lolly?
I mean, I said it before, I generally find like this stuff pretty accurate for me, but I also think it's hard because I guess kind of like what I was saying before, sometimes when you look up stuff for Aquarius, you get really different information. I guess because of the kind of sign it is. So there's been times sometimes when I've looked up Aquarius traits and I've been like, that's not like me at all. And then when I've looked it up, I've been like, that's exactly like me. So yeah, it's hard for me to say, particularly like since because of that, I don't like have a super solid knowledge of like what people's perception of that sign is.
Yeah.
I feel like you fall more into your sign around the people that you're really comfortable with. Like when you are like in like, especially like around us and stuff, I feel like we see more of your like outgoing, like not shy, like silly side maybe.
Yeah, so I think, which one is it that dictates that again? Because I forget.
Your outward personality
Yes.
is your Capricorn, like super responsible, like pragmatic. And on your outer, your chaos is maybe a little bit more inner. We know your chaos.
Yes.
Strangers do not know your chaos.
No. No, I like generally when I look at my horoscope, I don't see anything these days that sticks out to me as being particularly not like me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Benki? What do you think?
I honestly think mine is pretty accurate, although I think that in terms of being a Virgo, I feel like I've grown into my Virgo. Like, I don't think that I was very Virgo at all, like as a younger person or as a kid, and I'd always look at it and be like, this is not me. And fun fact, I'm actually only a Virgo by like an hour.
Well,
I would have, if I was born like an hour or two later, I would have been a Libra.
well, crazy.
So I think sometimes like people have said to me before, like maybe you have some Libra traits because you're so close. Like it's nearly just about as close as you get. I've like cusps are not really a thing. But like it's about as close as you get, and sometimes I feel like that's like come through a little bit in me as like a younger person, but other than that, like I think I have grown to be the mum friend. So I can be a bit messy though. I think that's because I have other things in my brain though.
Yeah, because I would also be cleaner if I didn't have a messy brain constantly. What I was going to ask, because you mentioned it, I forget. When we gave you our charts, did we give you our birth times?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
This is my stupid question. Where do people... it sounds especially stupid because I put mine down. Where do people find this out?
Asking my mum.
Yeah, my mum.
Yeah,
does.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it's like written down somewhere.
Yeah, like
It's on your birth certificate, I think. Maybe.
I checked my birth certificate yesterday because I wanted to check if my mum was fibbing.
She's not actually your mum.
But no, I just like wanted to see like if she'd told me the right thing, and it's not on there. So I was like, I guess I'd
Mums
never
just know. Mums
Maybe
just
maybe
know.
I am secretly a Libra, but
If there was a human head coming out of me, I'd fucking remember what time it was.
yeah.
So
Well,
I was born exactly 1 p.m.
I was born at 4:19 a.m., which I only remember because it's one number off from 4:20.
That's
right.
it. So true.
I was born at like 3 a.m.
Damn.
I was born
Asshole.
at like, I can't remember.
Mine's just so easy to
I
remember.
have it on
'cause
your
it's like,
on your sheet somewhere because I used it to find your chart.
That's right.
I
I was nearly born in a taxi because my parents, my mum was giving birth to me.
I remember
And my dad
this.
said, my parents were on holidays on the Gold Coast and I was booked in at the hospital at Sunnybank to be born. And my mum was like, I am giving birth to my baby right now. My dad was like, no, you're not. Go back to sleep. A couple of hours later, she's like, no, like this is happening. And they got in a taxi and they drove and like I was nearly born in that fucking parking lot.
I remember you talked about that, I think actually in the first A-MUSE Academy episode, and we were talking, when we did the like, write down.
Have
like,
I already told this story? Holy shit.
I don't think you-
that's why we're cutting these episodes.
I was just going to say it comes full circle because like, I think I can't remember if you actually talked about it in much detail, but I distinctly remember the picture of like the taxi and like your pregnant mum.
Right. Oh my god. God, we only have
Crazy.
5 stories. We recycle them over and over again.
You say you were booked in. What date were you supposed to be born?
Christmas Day.
Oh my god!
That's right, 'cause
Yeah.
you're
Oh, that's
Christmas
right.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be Christmas Day
I was
baby.
supposed to be Christmas baby. It
Um,
was pretty close.
I was actually
Those 2
supposed to
days
be.
before.
I was
2
supposed to
days,
be
yeah.
born on the 6th of September, and instead I was born on the 23rd.
My mum chose my date because it was the number of her favourite footballer. And if that doesn't get
How
as
do you-
Aussie as it
Wait,
gets, then...
did she get like a surgery?
No, I was natural. But she chose the date that I was born, and I was like...
So
I think
they,
she was induced.
Did they induce her?
Yeah, they induced her.
Oh.
See, I don't know when I was supposed to be born because, like, actually, this is a story that I haven't repeated on the podcast.
Go on.
I don't even know if I call it a story, but just like a, I guess, random factoid that I don't really talk about. My mum was a teen mum. She had me when she was 16. And so, like, she never, like, finished high school, graduated or anything because she had me. But I think because she was so young, there's just, like, so much around that time where it's like, I don't know shit about fuck. I don't know when I was supposed to be born. Don't remember anything about when I was a little toddler. But we turned out all right. So
Yeah.
it's,
You got
Here's
awesome
another
now.
thing we haven't said on the podcast before.
Crazy.
Your mum is a MILF. Your mum is a MILF.
Is she now?
She is.
I mean, your mum is pretty.
Your mum's very pretty.
She is.
Hi,
It's
Mum.
True. Yeah.
Hi, Mum.
she'll actually be really flattered to hear this because she is now approaching, I think she turns 40 this year.
Wow.
But when people tell her, oh, you still look like you're 20, she goes like, ooh.
She
oh my
does.
God.
You guys, like, I love seeing pictures of you guys together because she looks so, like, y'all look, it's going to be like, you guys sisters, but, like, actually. You guys,
growing up.
like,
It's like whenever we would go out together growing up, people would always say to her, like, oh, you've got your sister. And she's like, that's my daughter. And people go like,
It's
oh.
like, yeah, I'm a MILF.
But because of that, we've always been, we've always had a good relationship with each other. But it's always been, like, in high school, I remember I brought, she was with my stepdad. They were, like, in the same hotel, but they weren't, like, at the formal. They were just, like, off having a date night. But they stopped by the formal for, like, 2 seconds to say bye to me. And I rember after that, like, some of the boys in my year level were like, ooh, who's that? And I was like, get fucked.
mum.
Get fucked. That's my mum.
that's my mother.
But yeah, can all things considered, I think I turned out all right.
Yeah, you're well.
Hey, given the conditions, it could have been a lot worse.
So true, so true.
So another fun way to look at personality types, or to be honest, I find it the less fun way, is your Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTIs, as we know.
This is my shit. I love MBTI.
See, I actually don't love the MBTI.
Go on, girl.
I don't love
Drop
it because honestly, like, companies use this to like tell people's personality types all the time, and I find them to be a little bit more boxed in than your astrology, so which is why I don't like them as much. And I think people take it more seriously. People see it as being more like scientific, but there's actually not really like that much proof
It's a
to say
BuzzFeed
that,
got very popular.
it's like the version, it's like the corporate version of astrology to me.
Yeah. See,
That's a good way of putting it.
I fucking love MBTI, but my case for it is I can't really refute any of your stuff because it's all true. Fuck, I even saw recently that like, because like especially right now MBTI is a huge trend in Korea, right? And some people are like just not hiring people of a certain MBTI personality type.
That's so funny.
Which is
that's
like
not funny. That's
crazy.
It's awful.
It's
funny,
but
it's awful.
like I think particularly like because I remember seeing it and being like, haha, they were like they won't hire INTJ, they won't hire like blah blah, like basically anyone that could be like not even necessarily but because I'm INTJ and we'll get into it later, right? But I think they don't really want to hire people that might try to like usurp authority and do shit the way they want to do it.
The reason businesses use them is because they want to know who's compatible in making a good team. But like that's so crazy.
I think
They
like
only hire sentinels.
Yeah, I think on a base level, I can get why you might use it as like a guideline, but I also think like something that a lot of people forget about MBTI is because it's like, how do I put it?
because it's a self-reflection.
It's
kind of
just
thing.
self-reflection also affects it, but a huge thing as well is that like, at least in my eyes, this is how I see it. Astrology is like more just your general like nature as a person, whereas MBTI is just like more your personality in general, and your personality can change over time.
That's
like
true.
my MBTI was very different when I was a teenager. I forget what it was, but it was very different, and I like have now been getting the same MBTI for a few years, but it's nothing like what I was when I was younger. And that's just been shaped by like the things that I do now, my life experiences and all that. So I think like people go like, oh, my MBTI always changes. And I think that's because one, self-reflection, and two, just because people inevitably change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I agree with that.
the reason I don't gel with this as much, I really like this stuff, don't get me wrong. But I think that my perception of what I think I'm like as a person is different from how everyone else perceives me. So like to say like I am this like 100% is like probably not as accurate because, you know, how you see yourself is you have many facets of yourself that not everyone is privy to as well.
I think I also just like it because mine's quite on the letter for me, in my opinion. So sometimes I read it and I just go like, damn, someone's worded this in a way that no one else has been able to. They get me. Whoever wrote this shit, they get it. So I'm probably biased as well in my...
I am one of those people who has a changing one, but it's always between a certain two.
I see.
And they're actually quite similar
Yeah.
as well. So I am ENFP, so I'm a campaigner, but I sometimes can be INFP, which is a mediator.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of tend to alternate between those two. Turbulent every time, always turbulent, but I feel like it's basically just the introverted and extroverted versions of the personality, and I think that like in terms of being introverted or extroverted, I tend to sit really dead in the middle. I definitely like enjoy having social encounters, and I can display in quite an introverted way, extroverted. I think when I'm in conversation and I'm hanging out with people, I can appear quite extroverted. But I definitely like need that recharge time. I need that alone time. I don't really gain energy from social encounters. I am made so tired by them. Yeah. So even though I relate more with ENFP, I tend to be more on the introverted side, I think. Yeah. So that's why I feel like this one like doesn't really pin me down too well.
I think that's why I like, because when we were sending all these through to Pengi, when I redid it last night, I was really looking at the people say, like, the main site that people use for this, right, is the 16 personalities one. And then people are always like, that site is bullshit. And from memory, there's actually legitimate reasons why it's bullshit, which I can't remember, but I always just laugh it off. But the thing I like is that when you finish it, for each trait, it kind of gives you like a number on a scale. Like you're 63% whatever more in this direction than the other one. And I'm just assuming the people who tend to flip between letters are people where theirs sits
Closer to the center.
Yeah, where it tends to move around a bit.
I used 16 personalities for all of this data because I don't really know any other websites. And I think this is the one, I think the reason why it's probably come under so much fire is because you can pay for like a premium version of this where you get like an extra thing and lots of companies pay for it. So 16 personalities makes a lot of money off of these personality types. So it's kind of a little bit like...
It's corporate. Yeah.
It's capitalism astrology.
But you know, last night, right, when I redid the test just to confirm my MBTI, when it was like, oh, you can pay for your profile, I went to Google and I was like, 16 personalities, INTJ, premium profile, and it was like the 300-page book that they make you pay $40 for was the first result on Google. Not promoting plagiarism.
I think you are.
Not promoting plagiarism.
I think you are.
You wouldn't plagiarize the 16 fucking guys.
You wouldn't steal the premium profile. I'm just saying, if you'd like to view it, there's other avenues to do so. But yeah, it gets under a lot of fire, but it's also the one that people know the best. So I think it is the best currently.
To introduce everybody's MBTIs, I am an ENFP. Alex is an ISFJ. I always forget the letters, which is a defender. Rinya is ESTP, which is the entrepreneur. And this is actually, according to the 16 personality statistics, the least common personality type in the country.
Ooh, crazy.
So... And
she's not like other girls.
She's not like other girls. Not our Rinya. Luvkii is an ENFJ, so she's a protagonist. And yours is like the 10th most common. I am ENFP, which is actually the second most common. I am the most basic bitch here. And Lolly is INTJ, which is the architect, and 27th most common, so back down towards the list like Rinya, very uncommon.
Mine is
1.22% of the population.
Yeah, mine's not like the least common, but I think usually when I look it up, they're like, this is like one of the 3-4 least common types. So.
Yeah.
What about
you
me?
and Rinya aren't. Pardon?
What about me?
I said you at me. You're an ISFJ, so you're the sixth most common personality type, and Kate is an INFJ. So she's an advocate. And 4th most common. So you and Kate and I are the most basic bitches on the list.
As an INFJ for Kate makes a lot of sense. Anyways.
Yeah. So there's 16 personalities splits these up into 4 different categories. So analysts, diplomats, sentinels, and explorers. And we are actually pretty evenly spread across these categories in A-MUSE, which maybe that's why we work so well together. Maybe there is some science to the bullshit corporate personality.
Crazy.
Does everybody agree with their MBTIs?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we can go into it
We can.
a bit more.
We can. So these are just the simple little descriptions that live at the top on 16 personalities. For Alex, a defender is someone with introverted, observant, feeling, and judging personality traits. These people tend to be warm and unassuming in their own steady way. They're efficient and responsible, giving careful attention to practical details in their daily lives, which I do find that quite true of you. You agree with it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For Luvkii, the protagonist, I find it so funny that this is called the protagonist.
Yeah.
Main character,
The main character energy. A protagonist is a person with extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging personality traits. These warm, forthright types love helping others, and they tend to have strong ideas and values. They back their perspective with a creative energy to achieve their goals.
Yeah.
Luvkii and goals.
Yeah.
She's got goals.
I do have goals.
To make a lot of money.
To make money.
Yeah.
To make my girlfriend into a housewife.
Housewife
Housewife Helen. I hope to see it one day.
I hope so too. I was actually talking to her about it this morning.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah, right.
Not
go.
appropriate.
Oh.
So Lolly is an architect. She's a person with an introverted, intuitive thinking and judging personality traits. These thoughtful tacticians love perfecting the details of life, applying creativity and rationality to everything they do. Their inner world is often a private, complex one.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. What do we think? So for me, I have a campaigner is someone with extroverted, intuitive, feeling and prospecting personality traits. These people tend to embrace big ideas and actions that reflect their sense of hope and goodwill towards others. Their vibrant energy can flow in many directions.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the public opinion on that?
The vibrant energy can flow in any directions. You're very strong. When you feel something, you feel it very strongly.
That's true.
Yes.
I am what's called an opinionated hoe. So
Respectfully.
So true.
For Rinya, we have an entrepreneur is someone with extroverted, observant, thinking, and prospecting personality traits. They tend to be energetic and action-oriented, deftly navigating whatever is in front of them. They love uncovering life's opportunities, whether socializing with others or in more personal pursuits.
Yes.
Yeah.
I somewhat agree with that for Rinya.
I know she is kind of flips between two. I forget which one was the one that she flips between.
It's another
but-
one of the E's, though. It's an another extroverted one.
Yeah, but I think both reflect her quite closely.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Kate as the advocate, I know that Kate says that hers changes a lot as well, but I honestly personally really agree with this for
Yes.
her. The advocate is someone with introverted, intuitive, feeling and judging personality traits. They tend to approach life with deep thoughtfulness and imagination. Their inner vision, personal values and a quiet principled version of humanism guide them in all things. I think that's very Kate.
Yeah.
I actually think I want to retake my test because last time I took my test was when I was like early high school.
Yeah, it'd be interesting
I'd
to
like
take it.
I'd like to see you take it again.
I'll probably take it. We'll delve this out later tonight.
Also,
I agree
there
with
was
that.
like, I know, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I would think that you're more of an extrovert than an introvert in some ways.
Well,
I actually would also agree with that.
wow.
Yeah.
I actually feel we might be a little bit similar on this level.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So how do I put this? Like, you know how I'm always like, oh, this bitch has the most friends in A-MUSE, like she just makes friends. And you're like, oh yeah, but I like my alone time. And I think you do. But I think you can't take too much of it. And the reason I say that is
My
because
mental breakdown during COVID.
Yes, because we both had to quarantine for a week, right? And because we had COVID. And like, you were having a mental breakdown on like day 3 of isolation.
I was crying every single night because I was like, I need to get out of here. I need to fucking leave right now.
Meanwhile, the 7 days passed, and I don't even think like on the 7th day I still didn't leave the house then because I was like, I'll go to the shop tomorrow. So like,
Oh, it was awful.
so I
guess,
yeah,
yeah.
I would consider you to be a more extroverted person.
I like staying home on my own terms,
Yeah,
not being forced to stay home.
and I also think that you do it in bite-sized chunks. Like, yeah,
Yeah. I think in terms of like if I had to split A-MUSE in two and say like the social versus the like more antisocial, I actually think it's split like Camellia Pulsar.
Yeah.
Camellia is the most social bitches in A-MUSE, and Pulsar are the ones who like to stay at home and play computer games.
yeah.
No, I feel like Rinya's really extroverted as well in like, especially with like her ability to make friends with new people.
That
I
is
feel
true.
like she has this like really natural way of making like not coming on too strong, where like I feel like we are similar in that way, except like I'm more of the like coming on like stronger, like yeah, like grabs you by the throat, where she's got more of like a more like easier way of drawing people in. So I don't know. I think I'd say that she's more of an extrovert.
I agree with that, but also like in my eyes where I can see her as being more introverted sometimes, I think both of hers are E anyway.
Yeah.
Is that Rinya is the kind of person where like if you guys are like out doing something socially, like once she's done, she's done. Like she just
Yeah, you can tell.
She
that
is true.
switches.
she like, and it can be seemingly random, and once she switches off, that's it. Like
You're going home?
Yeah. She's like, it's enough. had enough.
I think like she's definitely introverted, but I also know that Rinya loves her games, she loves her naps, and I think that Rinya is someone who's very comfortable to spend time at home.
Yeah, she is a homebody for sure.
I kind of like recently relearned what introvert and extrovert means, where it's not necessarily about like what you enjoy doing more, it's more about where you gain your energy back.
Energy from.
And I didn't know that. I thought it was more about like I have so much fun when I'm out, so that's why I'm an extrovert, but it's more like, do I feel like I'm tired and like I don't like I feel exhausted by the social thing, and like that's where I didn't know there was like that, because you can enjoy going out and having fun and still be an introverted person.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's really where I like am a little bit more introverted than people suspect me to be, because I love to go out. I love to have fun with my friends. But I much a little bit like Rinya, and when I'm done, I'm done. I feel like half the time when we go out together, I'm the first person to leave.
Yeah, fair.
Because I think I get like I get finished with dinner and finished talking to people, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm going home. I'm not hanging around anymore. I don't need dessert.
See, I think on the flip side, because I would consider myself to typically be quite introverted, but on the flip side, when I do want to spend time with people, like, nothing will take me from that. Like, everyone will be tired and wanting to go home,
You're
but
like,
if I'm in the mood, I'll be like, but I still want to play. I've made all this effort to come out here, and I could go for another 3 hours.
And everyone starts crying.
But yeah, I also know, I don't know if it is like covered in but we've got like the A and T suffixes as well for everyone's
Yes, we
types.
do. Everybody in A-MUSE is turbulent except for Lolly and Luvkii.
Yes.
Lolly and Luvkii are both assertive.
I don't know what that means.
So, do you want me to explain it?
You go for it.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is specifically for INTJ or if it like is consistent across types. I was just reading about this last night. Basically, like, turbulent is, I guess the short version is that like a person with a turbulent personality type is going to be more conscious of like what people think of them, or will base like either that, or they'll base like their actions and their goals and stuff, really keeping things like uncertainties and like failures in mind. Whereas like comparatively, the assertive personality types are a lot more like self-assured. And like because of that, they can tend to, I guess for an example, which a lot of the time in A-MUSE, when sometimes I'll propose an idea, and I tend to not think about the details or the things that can go wrong, or if I do, I'm just like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We'll work around it. That is kind of like more on the assertive end, where you kind of are just like, oh, I'm happy-go-lucky. I'll deal with problems as they come up, whereas a turbulent type is more thoughtful of these things and how it will affect their life. Yeah. So there you go.
I definitely, I sort of suspected when I was putting stuff together last night that if anybody was going to be assertive, it was going to be you.
Yeah, a big trait of being assertive is that like the assertive types have a very strong sense of self and a very, like I said, I guess self-assured. Like they kind of know who they are and what they want and blah, 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 blah. So, yes.
Yeah, I guess in that, because I remember when Pengi brought this up last night, I was like, I don't know what this is. And I remember doing it when I did do this test. I could only remember the picture that came with it, not the actual letter. So I was
I have the sword.
Now thinking about the two of them, I feel like maybe I'm assertive in my, like, because I feel like my business adult Lucy brain is one way, and then my, like, frontward facing, like, personality is different. So I feel like I'm maybe a bit of both in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that true about me as well, but I'm also somebody who is fucking terrified of failure. So
yeah, that's a huge that would be like end up in turbulent, whereas like the assertive types are more just like, oh, if something goes wrong, like I think when I was actually reading up about it, a piece of data that really stood out to me, and again, you know, it's just corporate bullshit at the end of the day, but they were like, you know, people with the assertive personality type, when they were doing a survey, again, could just be botched data, but they were like, oh, assertive people tend to be like when we did like this research, like 70% of people with the assertive personality type were the kind of people that were basically like the quality of my life and like what I produce and what I do is defined by my mindset rather than the conditions I'm in, which I think is very true for me personally, and I think is like a good indicator of like that type is like they don't let external factors dictate the things that they do in their life. They just go, if I put in enough effort or if I want it to happen and do the right things, I know what I'm doing, so it'll work out.
I think that's definitely true of you. Yeah, I think like for me, I am not a fuck giver about what other people think of me necessarily.
But it's the fear of...
But it's the fear, because I have really high expectations of myself all the time, and I tend to base those expectations based off of what my ideas of success are and where I am in my life compared to those ideas of success, and I feel like I can be really afraid of starting ventures and doing things because I'm scared of failure. For my failing my own expectations, because I know that I don't care what anybody else thinks, but I will make myself feel like shit if I fail. So that is my main fear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with that, I actually have a game.
Yeah.
Game.
A game.
I need my brain to be stimulated right now.
Game time.
All right. So this game is based off the Myers-Briggs types. I have a mix of celebrities and fictional characters in this bag, and you have to pick one out and figure out who it is.
Well, he's gonna have no fucking idea.
No,
I've tried to pick people that everybody will know.
So I like, unfortunately, actually, it's more like I'll know the one that will be for me and I won't know anyone else's. Because after doing the test last night, I was on the Myers-Briggs like deep dive. And
But
I was
you
like,
don't-
Naughty, that's cheating.
You don't watch movies. You don't watch TV.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
true.
don't know celebrities. So I'm like,
that's what I'm like, I'll know whatever one mine is. I won't know anyone else's.
All right. I'm also not going to participate in this game because I know the answers. So,
Cool.
and there's also going to be extra ones in here because we have absentees today, so we can have more
Whoa.
than one draw.
Ooh.
So that we cover everyone.
Crazy.
All right,
cool.
who wants to go first?
me.
All right.
Did you get this bag when we were in Noosa or?
No, I went back to Ghana because I really like their stuff, and I was like, I like the flower bag.
Junko and Ashima.
Ooh.
Who? You're allowed to friend a friend as well. This can be a group decision if you don't know.
I think it's either Rinya or Pengi. What do you guys think?
Okay, you know what makes this harder is I don't know what other names are in the pool. Like, I'm not
yeah,
looking
if it
at them
doesn't
all
narrow
at
it
once.
down.
It would be easier if they were all laid out and it would be like, assign them off the top.
It's going to get easier as it goes on.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
I think either Rinya or Pengi.
What are Renia and Pengi's types again? Are
Um,
we allowed to ask?
Yes.
ESTP
So
is Rinya.
I am ENFP and Rinya is ESTP.
I'm gonna say Renia. But you're not my question. to
No,
answer.
okay,
No,
well,
it's everyone's
just-
question to
that's
answer.
just
Everyone
my
can
hot take.
We'll
do.
go Rinya. We'll go Rinya.
You are incorrect.
Oh.
It's me.
Well,
It's a pink-haired goth bitch, guys. Come
well,
on,
wait, so
get it
true.
together.
I'm done.
Well,
Pengi.
Oh.
I can definitely see why you would think Rinya though, and also Rinya and I are really similar. So
Yeah,
it's
so
like
It's kind of like
The reason I picked Renia was because I was thinking about like it's like 10 gajillion years since I played the Danganronpa game, but I was like, thinking like Junko's a crazy bitch, but she's smart.
She thinking, but
She
she
is
is
thinking.
She do be thinking.
all right. Someone go.
who's next?
I'll go next. Alrighty. T Swift. T
Kate.
Swifty.
Okay.
Kate.
Yeah, that one was easy. That was my easiest one. I put it in here and I was like, somebody is gonna guess this straight away.
Kate.
Your
Kate.
turn.
Kate. Alright, that's a piece of plastic.
Sorry about that. Just random garbage.
it's
in my bag.
Here's the paper. Alright.
It's not my bag if it doesn't have a random piece of garbage in it.
Elijah Wood.
Why do you look at me?
Elijah Wood.
Isn't he in what's actually called Lord of the Rings?
He is. That's a me and Luvkii thing.
Alright, Elijah Wood. I feel like I know the answer to this.
I feel like it's Alex, not because of the personality, but because it's a Lord of the Rings answer.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Lolly, you're the one who has to guess.
No,
It's a group
it's a
thing.
team effort.
Oh.
I guess it could be me. Elijah's a silly little guy. He's got the bug eyes that Luvkii says I have.
He's looking.
I don't know what. To be honest, I don't know anything about Elijah Wood. I know what he looks like. I don't know what his personality is. I don't know who he plays. He's just a guy to me. And that does not
That
give
means
me any
nothing
more
to her.
information.
I mean, like, his personality, if I had to pick from, like, interviews, is that he's just, like, a little bit on the shyer side of things. People often say that him and Daniel Radcliffe are quite similar, except, like, Daniel's more, like, wilder and he's a bit softer. So I'm going to guess Alex.
I think...
You're right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think where you fail this comparison is I don't know what Daniel Radcliffe is.
I don't know Daniel.
I don't know people.
Who's Daniel?
Like, I know who he is, but I've got no clue what he's like as a
Alright.
person.
All right. Keep going.
Well, we're through for three now.
You get to draw for.
Light Yagami. Luvkii.
I don't know.
Why
Oh, because he's gay.
No, you're still wrong.
Wait, no, Lolly.
Who hasn't been drawn yet? So this is Pengy and Kate and Alex. So it's got to be me, Lolly, or
It's Lolly.
You're right. It's slowly. Congratulations. You have the same MBTI.
That's so
personality
unfortunate.
Well, so with the INTJ, something that, like, because of the kind of values that, like, INTJ usually hold, they made a note of, like, it's pretty common for villains to be INTJ type. So,
That's so unfortunate. How's it feel being an incel?
well, you know who I also apparently share an MBTI with? The very colourful and interesting character known as Elon Musk. So,
that
checks out.
Look, I did see that and I considered putting it, and then I was like, I'm not going to be
Black's
that
funnier.
next Halloween you should be Elon and Pengy should be Grimes.
So we should dress Fergie as the baby.
so I don't know if people on the podcast know this, but Pengy
Was Grimes.
Was Grimes.
I love and hate Grimes at the same time.
Wow. Nice Halloween costume idea.
Actually,
I
I really
wanna
love
see
that.
it.
That's really funny.
I'll
like
do
to
it.
see
I will dress Fergie up as whatever the fucking baby is called. My Halloween costumes are always dictated by other people's suggestions. Last year someone was like, be a Bunnings worker and Fergie can
Best
be the
costume.
sausage. And I was like, yeah. And now I've got this year's Halloween sorted, so...
It makes you have to buy,
Excellent. I suppose my Halloween's sorted as well
you
then.
have to buy a Tesla though.
Easy.
Yeah, don't worry about it, I'm rich.
Rocket Raccoon.
I got,
Rainia. Furry.
I got no
Furry.
fucking clue.
Luvkii.
No, Rinia's correct.
Haha. Furry.
Where is Rocket Raccoon even? I don't know.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel.
Who's Rocket Raccoon?
Who is the raccoon and why is he rocketing?
I don't know any of these bitches.
Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Oh,
The raccoon.
Who were the Guardians? And why
I've
is it
seen
the
that
Galaxy?
film.
Have you?
I actually have.
Whoa.
I just don't remember
It's a good
anything.
movie.
I know Groot. Thank you.
Everyone knows Groot.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
you're going to pick the last one and you're going to know who it is, but it's going to make you laugh.
I think it's Penguin.
That's another piece of plastic. Crazy. Sorry, I'm just fishing bits out of your bag.
Sorry about that. I'll put those back.
Oh.
Oprah Winfrey.
That's me, baby.
That's you.
That's my mum. I do know that it's like the first one that comes up for this personality type.
Wow.
How's it feel being Oprah?
Bold.
At least it's not Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Apparently a big part of my personality type is that my ENFJs are teachers and like leaders for for those kinds of things because I had to do one of these for work really recently. And
Oh, they actually made you do
Oh my
one?
God.
yeah, I recently did like I'm part of doing this like great managers course for my team, and one of the things that we had to do was do a whole bunch of personality quizzes, and she kept talking about how my personality type is perfectly suited to be a leader and to be a team, like a teacher, to teach people. So I'm like, Oprah Winfrey's kind of like that, where she has this kind of like lead, like you would when Oprah Winfrey gives you advice, you would go, yeah, like that's that's the tea.
I would believe anything Luvkii told me, to be honest.
I have the same personality type as Rachel Berry from Glee.
Well,
Awful.
Oprah and Rachel.
Oprah and Rachel.
I've got Elon Musk and I've got like most villains ever, but I do have Michelle Obama. So that's something. It's something.
We've all got new kitties.
I've got Elijah Wood, and that's all that matters.
These are people who are living in my my dreamscape, like on TikTok.
What? Sorry?
I hate dreamscape
All of the
TikTok
personalities
so fucking much.
live on an island.
This
Yeah,
thing.
that's me.
Yeah.
Oprah is living in my
My
brain.
island-
She's
in
one
my
of my
island.
personalities.
In your
I'm going to
system.
unlock Oprah.
Got what microtransactions you got? What DLCs do I have to buy to
to get unlocked. The Oprah personality is fronting right now.
Anyways.
So we are going to play another game, and this one is to do with our star signs and our horoscopes. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick a star sign out of the bag, and you're going to write a little daily horoscope for that star sign. So I'm not going to participate in this one, and I've cut it down a little bit so that the star signs that are in here are sun signs that are only within the group. So
Okay.
you're going to get someone else's sign.
Okay.
Okay.
I've also written for you some little hints on what the planets are doing today
Whoa.
and how they relate to that star sign, so you're not completely lost
Okay.
about what to write.
put your whole pussy into this?
I sure did.
Crazy.
So you can start this time. You can
Alright.
pick one out.
Wow, no plastic. Sorry.
For
Wish you
you.
could say that about the ocean.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
There's no plastic in the ocean.
Oh, you
it's
really
all in
did?
my bag.
You really
But
did
it's
go
not funny,
full out
is
on
it?
this.
It's serious.
It's not funny.
Well, I was going to say, did you guys hear it? Sorry to derail before we start, but did you guys hear about that study that came out recently where they found out that like everyone just has microplastics in them now? Like
Oh,
just
yeah.
everyone.
I got mega plastic. Do better. I've got Lego bricks in my small
Like
intestine.
it is just, I think like it was like, oh, it's like we have microplastics in our bloodstream now. And I'm like, bro, how cooked is that? Anyways. How much time do we have?
You have 5 minutes, and I actually might put on a little timer. So I'll give you. Are you ready to start?
Yeah, baby.
All right. Where's my clock app? Not the app. Not TikTok. The actual.
Wait,
clock app.
actually, I do have a stupid question. What is even in a horoscope?
It's generally some like advice about how you should go about your day to day, depending on what the planets are doing.
Gotcha.
So like today is like the best day for you to go out and buy a lottery ticket because your moon is this. You should eat parsley today because your sun
Well,
is this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
got it.
5 minutes has started. I know a couple of you have already started, but we're taking it easy. We're being chill, because it is what's called the last episode. So we're taking it easy.
Yeah, it's like the last day of school.
Last
when-
day of school.
When the teachers wheel in the TV and they're just like, just look at the TV and watch a movie for a few hours. It's easy.
15 seconds left.
Go, Lolly, go, Lolly, go.
That will do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
Yeah.
That's the first time I finished before the timer.
I think usually everyone's scrambling, but no, you guys have been really good today. All right,
Short and sweet,
there
short
it
and sweet.
goes.
Who's gone first?
I want to see what Lolly's written as
All right.
Lolly struggles.
All right, we've been starting with Alex all day, so you can start this time.
My
So-
Leo ego
ho-
can't handle
So
this.
do I say what the who I have?
Yeah, say what star sign you have.
Okay, so I've got, I never know whether this is with a hard or a soft G, Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, hard G.
Virgo.
How would you say what? How would you pronounce
This
it?
is for me and Rinya. This is for me and Rinya.
Yes. Should I share all of this as well, or just my little tidbit?
You can share all of it if you like.
So, for Virgo, we got today, the moon is looking at your work and health. What problems do you need to address? The reason why this took me so long is because, like, my brain was trying to, like, piece together where everything is and what that specifically means. But what I came out with is...
Go on.
Peeling off the back, sticker time.
Take care not to treat your important affairs with intense emotions. It's important to think through the way you respond to roadblocks in your daily life. Thank you.
Very good.
Very insightful, Lolly. Thank you.
Well done, Lolly.
Did it take you 5 minutes to write that respectfully?
Oh my god.
Lolly didn't start writing until she had 2
What
minutes
did you
left.
just say? No, actually, what did you say?
It took you 5 minutes to write that.
Because I was
The
thinking about how
claws
to
right now.
interpret it right. Because here it says, the Sun and Mercury are in Taurus, and in Taurus the Sun's methodical, sensual, and receptive. Venus and Mars are currently in Pisces. And like reading
much.
what everything meant just took me ages, and then it was
I'm
like,
sorry, Lolly. That was actually really rude of me. to say.
no, you're fine. I'm just I'm very stupid. It was like, Venus is the planet of love, Mars is the planet of aggression, and Pisces is an emotional water sign prone to romanticism and fantasy with an emotional and spiritual focus. But because it was about work and health, I was like, well, we can't have aggression, and we got to think about love. So,
Well done, girl.
Very
fucking think.
insightful.
Good job.
Just fucking think. That's it.
If yours is so good, then mission. Let's
No,
see
I don't
it.
think. I think you should be next.
Alrighty, just because you've asked for it. What I don't like about horoscopes is that they're not specific enough. So I've made mine very, very specific.
What was your hint?
This is for an Aquarius.
Oh,
So Lolly, take that. The moon is in your sign today. It's your time, baby. You make the rules. The Sun and Mercury are in Taurus. In Taurus, the Sun is methodical, sensual, and receptive. Venus and Mars are currently in Pisces. Remember, Venus is the planet of love, so same prompt as Lolly's. Okay, here it is.
These are all the same, but the hints are different.
Oh, okay.
They're just to
Alrighty.
help you.
Oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, here's my horoscope.
yeah, go on then.
Today, you will awake to the thrice crow of a raven. You
The
will take
what?
this as a sign to step outside with the Glock. You will see a small 2004 SUV. You will hold the driver at gunpoint and drive 7 kilometers to your nearest ATM. And then you will demand that they will withdraw $300 in cash. But you will do it in a methodical and sensual way. You will also find love with your victim. And you will begin a Bonnie and Clyde epic romance full of crime and sex. The end.
You were writing fan fiction.
So yeah, that really is what you.
Wow. No, she just thought about on the fly.
I wrote.
This is really good. Can I keep?
Yeah, you can keep it. There you go.
All right, Alex, it's your turn.
I should have gone there. It's like going after Beyonce.
It's like going after Oprah.
This is like Ellen
Tears
DeGeneres
coming out
going
my
on
eyes.
after Oprah. Fuck. All right.
Oh.
So I got Leo. So I'm writing to myself basically.
Yeah.
So I had to laugh at that. So the moon moves in your 7th house today. Do you need somebody new? I've thought about that in my life at the moment. So you really need to calm down. Hold the people you love close to you. You love so hard and easy. Study your relationships and use your brain. You will find today easier than normal to be receptive to feedback. No one is out to get you. You are feeling emotional. You feel more emotional easier today. Eat some chicken. You've been craving it. You should read some Namut Kento fanfics.
Wow.
Seems
Thank
more like
you.
a to-do list for yourself. So you need to like tick off as you go.
This is my advice for myself for today.
Wow.
I like it.
And also your
It's good.
to-do list.
And my to-do. I do
good
have to. I
advice.
do have to read.
They're very different responses here.
Very, very different categories. I feel bad
Luvkii-
that Luvkii didn't get one. So I'm going to find what Capricorn is here and the hint that I gave. So the hint for Capricorn was the moon moves into your solar second house for a couple of days. Is it time to slow down and be patient?
What, do you like write a prompt or something or?
No, that's just me
just like-
at you. Do you need to be patient today? So your Venus is in Pisces right now. So the planet of love being in a probably the most emotional sign.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to slow down and be patient in your love life? You need to show Sarah Helen some patience and reflect.
Talk about you and Helen.
Reflect on
your relationship with
Helen
Helen right now.
becoming a housewife.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, my conversation with Helen today was just that, like, my whole journey in life is that I want to make enough money to turn Helen into, like, a sexy 50s housewife. And I want her to cook for me and have a meal on the table when I come home.
Wow.
And she was like, alrighty, I'm glad that you're keeping these goals realistic to yourself.
Sorry, I should.
I absolutely love this for you.
Yeah.
I love that you guys like have taken that like really traditional like
Yeah, I think that's the
Luvkii is
thing.
the man of the house.
That's the thing that shocks me most is I'm like, this is such a like, I don't even know how to put it. Like, I know you were girl boss, but like, this is different.
You girl bossing forever.
Yeah.
I want to girl boss hard enough because Helen likes to be a homemaker. It's like kind of like a joke that we have ongoing with us that I was like, oh, because Helen likes to, you know, make house and she likes to be that kind of figure. I'm just like, well, my goal in life is to make enough money so you can do your goal in life.
Wow.
So I can like, you can be the housewife and you can never have to work or lift a finger.
Living the dream.
Where can I
Helen.
get my own Luvkii?
Yeah, honestly. Oh, damn.
Need me
That's
my
super
Luvkii.
cute though. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with like slowing down, but like, because I'm impatient, I can't wait.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Nah,
for
you know
Helen.
where you're going. You got goals. You know how to get there.
She does stable.
She do.
Well,
Well, I think that about finishes us up for today. We
Damn.
played all of our games. We've talked lots about our different personalities in A-MUSE.
Yeah.
I realized we didn't
fun.
introduce ourselves at the beginning of the episode.
Everyone knows who we are.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Lolly.
I'm Peggy.
I'm Luvkii.
And I'm Elijah Wood.
So true.
No,
Yeah.
I'm Alex.
I feel like,
Whoa. Oh my god.
Never knew.
well, after, 9 episodes this one will be? It's like, if you
Is this
don't know
8 or
us by
9?
now,
I can't count.
I think it's the 9th
It's
one,
one of
maybe.
them.
Maybe the 8th. But,
I'm gonna check.
at this point, if you don't know us already, then I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Yep.
Oh, no,
What else
I'm
do you
very
guys need
upset.
to know?
It's been a really fun project.
Yeah.
I'm, like, working on them, like, it's kind of like,
This was your baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the vlogs that Alex works on, where when you actually listen to it back like a month later, it's nice to like reflect.
Yeah.
Especially like when I'm editing, I'm like, oh, like this is what we did, and like it's funny. Like at least I find it entertaining to like hear what we said and all of our little jokes that we made.
Yeah. And I think it's nice when people, it sounds so silly, when people also listen to them. Like, I think we actually got a message this morning from someone being like, I caught up on some of the latest A-MUSE Academy episodes and I really liked them. Thanks for doing them.
That made
and
me
I
really
was
soft.
like,
So I was like,
oh,
oh,
it's very nice. And if you're listening to this, shout out to you.
thanks, Haru.
Thanks, Haru. It was a nice little like, oh, how nice to receive this on the day we're recording. But
the last one.
I'm kind of like, I think this was a nice topic to finish on in the sense that it's sad that not everyone could be here for various reasons, obviously. but I think a little bit of personality analysis is good.
Yeah.
It's like fun stuff, but I also like looking at it because it makes me think about each of the members more as people, and how to, I guess, treat everyone and respond to them. So it's I'm glad we visited this
We
today.
all be emotional bitches here.
We all be bitches with Leo in their charts, honestly. I had so much fun doing all of this research and getting all of the members' charts and like going through and like seeing in particular everyone's main three and seeing actually how accurate so many of them are.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody has like inaccurate traits, and I actually came up in conversation. I actually had a list of traits that I personally think are accurate and inaccurate to people's signs. And the only person that I had a really hard time coming up with an inaccurate one was for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think, what was it? I think it was that there's a perception sometimes that the Aquarius is not an emotional type, but I think that's not true of you.
Yeah, I would still consider myself to be an emotional person, but it manifests in different ways.
Yeah.
And it's a bit more locked away, so to speak.
Out of looking at both the horoscope, like star sign, and then also looking at MBTI today, which one do you think was the more like accurate one for either of you guys?
Probably my MBTI.
Is more accurate?
Yeah.
It depends. I think like with the MBTI, it hones down some really specific things about me that isn't reflected in like the horoscopes, but I think for like my general nature, horoscopes might be slightly more accurate. INTJ, just when it gives like when the MBTI gives more specific feedback, it is like very applicable. So
Yeah. I do like horoscopes and like that's different every day.
yes.
Yes, that is true.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very well done, Pengy. This is a really fun
job.
last episode to leave off of.
Last day of
Thanks.
school,
Last day of
baby.
school.
We made it through the school year.
Oh my god.
How was everyone's first year of
First
school?
year of school, year one.
Year one of A-MUSE Academy. I had
Yeah.
a good time. We covered lots of different activities. I think I learned some things. I definitely laughed a lot. Had a really good
Oh,
time.
we had so much fun.
We've
Yeah.
had so much fun, and I also love how we originally planned for these episodes to go for an hour.
Looking at, yeah.
None of them have gone for an hour.
What's it looking like now?
What was that?
How long have we been going?
An hour 45?
Amy's chronically cannot shut up.
I knew this was going to happen.
But hey, I love it. Look, I am not one of the A-MUSE Academy listeners, but sometimes it's nice to just put on something in the background and clean your house. I don't know. It's the only way I can clean my house is by listening to bitches talk. So
Well, do you like
I
us or
also-
something?
I also think it's so charming that despite how much time the six of us spend together, we never run out of things to talk about on this
No.
podcast.
yeah, so true. So
We're
true.
a couple of besties.
Couple of
And whenever
besties.
A-MUSE Academy makes its return, which will be whenever we have time.
EP things, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say for those of you who are thinking ahead, we just be busy bitches. We have an EP to put out, which actually we're very excited for.
It's very good.
It do be kind of long, and we got a crazy amount of support from people. So
Thank you to everyone who donated.
yeah, we're gonna put our whole pussies into making it good. Hopefully,
Yeah. We finished out our crowdfunding on like a massive $8,000, which is
Whee!
just
Which is way
absolutely
more than we
mental.
asked for.
That is, we were like, oh, we might reach our $3,500 goal.
See,
Incredible.
this is where the assertiveness comes
Personality.
through. Like in my head, I was like, yeah, we'll hit the goal. But I was not expecting the scale of it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
People always blow us away with their support, so thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us that we are able to realize our creative vision.
yeah.
We care you.
It wouldn't be possible
Okay.
without everyone's support. Everything that we do is always backed by you guys, and we cannot be more appreciative of this community.
Yeah.
I love everyone. I love you guys.
I hope that we can
Have school
obviously-
together again.
Yeah. And I hope that like obviously you know, we're doing a lot of this for ourselves, but I hope, I guess, the work that we produce in the coming months can meet everyone's expectations, and you guys can, I guess, feel proud that you have supported us in some way.
Make you happy.
Yes. And I hope wherever you are in the world, that we can, you know, see you in the coming months, whether it's at a live show in person or on Twitch or whatever other silly little content we do.
This is like really bittersweet right now.
I know it makes it sound like we're never coming back, which is not true.
It's not true. We
But
definitely will
it feels
be.
like goodbye.
No,
Well,
we will be back.
I
See
think,
you later.
yes, we will be back. And with that, we'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for listening to A-MUSE Academy.
Bye.
Bye.